of Charleston Fossil Adventures. I'm also the paleontologist and co-author and photographer of A Beachcomber's Guide to Fossils. If you're new to the channel, please feel free to check out some of our other content to help you find fossils and shark teeth on the beach. Today's live stream is going to be dedicated to how I find shark teeth and other fossils on the beach. I've found a really nice section of shoreline right here that I'm going to share with you guys for the next 30 to 45 minutes. Hopefully we find some really cool stuff. And already I've got two things right down here that I want to show you. So I came here and I set my bag down to get all of my camera gear out, and quite literally touching the edge of the bag, this is not staged at all, is that bone right there. That is a really nice periodic, or one of two ear bones from a toothed dolphin, toothed echolocating dolphin that lived here about during the Miocene or Oligocene epochs. So we're looking at 5 to 30 million years ago. That is a really great score right off the bat, and one headed to the Mace Brown Museum of Natural History in downtown Charleston. Excellent. And I also spotted right here a gorgeous snaggletooth. Look at that one. Really nice enamel and serrations on that tooth. Oh, and we got some fish teeth right there too. That's a set of teeth from some fish called a burr fish. Really nice little enamel plates running along it. So a great way to start, and a good example of my first tip to find shark teeth on the beach. When you are looking through shell and rock material, you want to be in material that's the same size as the shark teeth you're looking for. So I already have another one right here. While it is not a shark tooth, that one is a stingray tooth. Anyone that knew stingrays had teeth, feel free to let me know in the comments how you figured that out. Were you fishing and you caught one and took a look in its mouth? Were you in an aquarium? A little section of fish bone right there. So that stingray tooth was the same size as the rocks that he has been grouped into by the waves. So first tip, when you're looking on the beach, look for kind of oatmeal to cereal flake sized shell and rock material. Now my next tip and trick, and it's something that's pretty obvious on this beach, you're going to want to find a beach that has black rocks like these. Oh, because right next to it, look at that, there is a snaggletooth. These black rocks are phosphate nodules, and they are the geologic deposit that is responsible for fossilizing all of the bones and teeth. So because of that, our fossils here on this beach are predominantly going to be dark black, jet black. And for those tuning in live, I always enjoy hearing where you are viewing from, so drop a comment down below in the live chat for those that have caught this after the live broadcast. Likewise, I love hearing where all of my domestic US and my international watchers are tuning in from. So, I am on the same shoreline on this hunt that I was for the last hour-long live stream that I did, the one where we found a lot of really big teeth. So I'm hoping for a repeat, although that is a bit of an unfair request of me. Last time we just had some incredible luck, and so on this trip, if I can find half of what I found the last time, that would be wonderful. Hey, the Adventurous Realtor, thanks for joining in. You came here just in time for a great white shark tooth. Nicely serrated tooth right there. Glad to have you. We already scored a dolphin ear bone earlier as well. Well, thank you. Glad you're enjoying it. It is really fun to share in the discovery in real time. And this beach loves producing some really nice finds. So I'm going to be looking for some bigger items on the first pass, seeing if we can't go elephant hunting, as one of my friends calls it, where you're only looking for the big teeth. And then on the next pass, we'll pick up some of the smaller items. That one is a rock, unfortunately. All right, tip number 2 for a piece of a chubiotensis, or a precursor to megalodon. Tip number 2 for finding shark teeth on the beach is that after you look for size and you're in the same shell material that's sized like the teeth you want to find, you're going to want to look for symmetrical items. And, you know, just looking in a pile of rocks like this is a pretty good indication showing that there's a lot of irregularly sized bits and pieces down here. And so whenever you see a nice triangular tooth, or a T-shaped tooth, or a long skinny sand tiger, that's when, you know, your eye kind of gravitates towards that symmetrical item. Hopefully while I'm talking on all of these tips, I don't overlook a big one, but we will be doubling back, so hopefully I can catch it on the second pass. All of the fossils on this beach are washing out of dredged sediments. So people are familiar with the concept of beach renourishment, where they go offshore and they pump up a bunch of sand to build back the beach. They kind of did the opposite here. They deepened a channel, and so they have put all this sediment up on the side of the river. Hey David, thanks for joining, and you are right in time for, I'll try not to destroy the little plant here, a gorgeous sand tiger tooth. Look at that. Looks like the plant grew through him. Ooh, yes. Oh, and he has both cusplets. Boy, that is a dagger of a tooth. Now, again, for those that don't know, all of the teeth that I'm collecting out here, I'm not keeping. I send all of these teeth out to my Patreon supporters. So if you join at the Tiger Shark tier or higher, that's the $17 tier and up, you can receive the fossils that you see on these live streams, on my YouTube videos, the ones that don't head to the museum, that is. And it's a pretty cool thing to be able to hold something that you saw on the internet that cannot be reproduced. All right, let's look up here. This often has a couple of things hiding in here. Got a bit of an old bottle here. If it's not super old, I'll at least get it off the beach so it doesn't cut anyone's feet. Oh, there we go. So we talked about symmetry, looking for symmetry. Right there, that is a shark vertebra. This one being from a member of the reef, tiger, or snaggletooth shark group. All members within the Carcharodontiformes order. Yeah, we can get some huge shark vertebrae here. This one is actually kind of medium-sized for this site. I've seen them about silver dollar sized here, and still held together because they will get the phosphate filling in one side or another type of limestone. So that would be a cool thing to catch on the stream today, would be a massive shark vertebra. I think I've featured some big shark verts before on some of the other regularly produced content on the channel, so maybe a little Easter egg you can keep your eye out for in the videos. Oh, there we go. Got right down there A snaggletooth. Preserved really nicely too. Now, snaggletooth sharks are pretty cool. They are ones that have what we call diagnathic heterodonty, which essentially means two jaws, diagnathic, and heterodonty, different teeth. So those upper jaws have the big, wide, curved, serrated teeth, like I just found. And the lower jaws have ones that are a little more conical that look like the sand tiger shark tooth that I just collected a couple minutes ago. All right, another little tip of a lemon shark. The lemon sharks are the ones that really have the teeth that look like capital T. Adventurous, you probably have those down in Florida. You can get a bunch of lemon sharks down there. We don't get as many lemon shark teeth up here in Charleston as some of the other beaches in the southeast. Oh, thanks, David, for the time update. 21 o'clock over there in the UK. So looking at about 9. Let's see, did I do my math right? 9, because then 22, 23. Yeah. Okay. I've got one. It's in frame. It's probably not too clear to you guys, but it is sticking out of the beach. Check this out. You can't make this up. Look at that. Now, unfortunately, I can see it is broken. It's shaved away there on the backside. But let's see, before I touch it, if it's going to be solid, if it stays in there. Pretty solid. Ooh, man. That would have been a really nice chubby tensis. Okay, let's get this guy washed off. So, Adventurous, you probably have a fair bit of shark poop down there in Florida. People just tend to overlook it. And quite honestly, oh no, I just sunk. Okay, I'll get this washed off and then I need to get out of this mud. Yeah, there's the heartbreaker. Oh, that's sad. Okay, let me get unstuck. Uh-oh. You can see my tracks are deep there, but I'm mid-calf. There we go. All right. Yes, so actually when I found one of my first pieces of shark poop, it broke in half, and because of that I was able to see the internal spiral, and I knew it was something, but I didn't know what it was, and a lot of people just pass them over as rocks. There's a little lemon shark tooth right there. So once you can learn the texture of a fossil, the patterns that it takes on, and then that one's a rock. And then even the color. So our shark coprolites at this site take on this orangey brown hue. And for anyone that has purchased some of the shark tooth sand on my website, again, links for that and the Patreon boxes down in the description. For anyone that has purchased some of that, I guarantee you've had at least 10, conservatively 10 pieces of shark poop in that gravel. And at least 100 shark teeth per bag. I mean, it's small. That's why I call it shark tooth sand. But there are a lot of fossils in there. Got those laughing gulls laughing at me. And they say, haha, he found a broken tooth. It's not very funny, laughing gulls. I don't appreciate that. We want one that isn't a heartbreaker. Oh, we have a little scallop right here. Look at that. Those are fun. This one is called a Steinkern. It's the internal cast of the clamshell. So technically considered a trace fossil. on the last live feed at this site, someone asked about finding horse teeth, and seconds after they asked it, I found a horse tooth. So maybe we can get someone asking about finding 5-inch megalodon teeth, and maybe the beach will hear you. I got a little dolphin bone fragment right there. Alright, let's see. Next tip for finding shark teeth on the beach would be to go at the right time of tide cycle. So I am out here right now at low tide so that I can have the most beach to look at. Now, ironically enough, this site is also huntable at high tide, but one thing that I recommend people to do whenever they get to a beach is go out there at low tide so that they can figure out essentially when to come back to the beach. Because, yeah, I mean, some beaches are low tide only, some beaches are you want to catch it on a falling tide. We've got a little sand tiger right there to go with the first one. And you know, some beaches, like in my How to Find Shark Teeth video, it's the top one on my channel, I was out there when the tide was actually coming in, and so the waves were washing through all of this gravel, and you can find teeth that way too. So really, you just want to make sure that you're in a pocket of shell material or rock gravel, whatever beach you're at. Now oh, there we go. Little sand tiger right there. Another tip, as you can see, I am just looking right on top. And for most beaches, believe it or not, that's actually the most productive technique. And I will be putting a video out in the future comparing techniques and seeing which is the most productive. But for me and for the beaches that I visit, just surface collecting like this, we've got a fishtail right there and a reef shark tooth right there. Oh, and right there is an extinct long-toothed tiger shark, one that is at minimum 5 million years old. Looks like we got a little, this one might actually be a Stingray Vertebra, which is something I've not found in Charleston. I've found them in Cretaceous deposits before, but never in Charleston, so I'll have to... Yeah, I think that's what this is. Sorry I had to look at it off camera, but Stingray Vertebra right there. So they're, here, I'll draw it out. Stingray verts are going to be a little more squared off, a little more compressed from top to bottom, whereas the shark vertebra, like I found earlier, you can see he's a little more perfectly circular. So, a little nicer that way rather than being a little more squared, a little more smushed and flattened out. So that's a pretty nice score right there. Okay. We are getting into the stretch up here against the little cliff where the bigger teeth like to wash out. Again, for those that just joined earlier, sticking out of the beach, we found that heartbreaker literally sticking straight out of the sand. So maybe we can find his mate up here. The ironic thing about Charleston in the winter is that's when the bugs are the worst. It has been windy all day, because I was going to live stream at a different spot, but the wind just wouldn't allow it. And so I came down here. There's no wind at this section, and so the no-see-ums are eating me alive. So since this is all dredged up material, it's all washing out from that little section of mud right up there. So we want to see what has freshly washed out. And if you're watching now or you're watching back on the replay and you're enjoying it, you're enjoying the fossil education, please do give the video a like so it can spread to more people who want to learn more about fossils, shark teeth, and how to find them. All right. Oh, we have another fishtail up here. So, going off of looking for symmetry, I've got those little radiating lines going down that way, and those going up that way. This is quite literally the last bone in a fish's spinal column. It's called a hypural bone, and right there is the articulation for the vertebra for the rest of the body. So that's a neat little find. Not the fleshy part of the tail, but the bone at the very, very base. Okay. Have a little piece of sea turtle shell right there. Very flat with a rippled pattern on top. Every now and then some nice teeth will mix down here, but I'll probably come back and look at this after we finish walking the little cliff up there. Oh, of course you say that, and right there. Hey Nola, thanks for coming. You're just in time for another big tooth. That is a juvenile precursor to Megalodon, so quite literally a baby shark. Thumbs up for the baby shark tooth. Do. Ah! Okay. Sneak in underneath this tree here. And nothing along this side. We gotta go all the way back around to get up to the top of this thing, where the productive part of the cliff is. Nolan, have I ever found anything at Kiowa? Unfortunately not, because Kiowa, if it has had renourished sand, it just hasn't come from a deposit that was fossiliferous. So like on Folly Beach, they renourished it and they pumped up a 3 to 5 million year old limestone that was loaded with fossils. So if you want fossils on Kiowa, you better write to the town council and tell them to dredge up a bunch of sediment from the same place Folly Beach did in 2014. Maybe it'll work. Alright, there's an absolute killer right there, glistening in the sunlight. Oh man. This is what dreams are made of right here. Oh, and he's complete. Look at that. Let's have a round of applause for that tooth. Holy cow. Another little juvenile. Most likely Angustodons. So Grandpa Megalodon right there. Gorgeous. Yep. Yep. That's a good one. And we got a snaggletooth right there. One of those lower teeth, a little more conical there. All right, and that wasn't even in the good section. Right there, got another lemon shark tooth. Those capital T shaped. Okay. All right, right there, I caught just the edge of the root of a stingray tooth. So I saw that reeded or rippled edge, and that is the root of that eagle ray tooth. More sea turtle shell here, I believe. It's got an interesting pattern on it. Huh, yeah. Be taking a closer look at that one when we get home. More glass. We'll get that out of here. People come out drinking and they throw all their trash in the river. It's not very nice. Okay, got a 2-for-1 deal there. Snaggletooth and shark vertebra. We've wrapped back around the section of the cliff I couldn't get to earlier. A necessary detour to get that nicer, complete tooth. Alright. Nothing that I see right there. All's not lost. We still have a nice big section to get to up here. Another good tip when looking for shark teeth is to really try and get into hard to reach places. Human beings are lazy. I don't like being lazy, and often it pays off because if there was a tooth all the way up there and I busted my butt to stick my head up through these roots and look, I would be able to find it, and someone else might have left it. Oh! Okay, so speaking of, right there, that's a shark vertebra. So excuse the camera as I grab this thing. Yep, another little shark vertebra. Of course, I drop it. Shoot, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Yep, nice little shark vert. Dropped it a second time. There we go. Get in the pouch. The first site I was at today, too, had a bunch of footprints all over it. Not from today, but some other day. The water had just lightly kind of filled in at the high tide line. So, another reason that I moved locations. None there. Alright, the sunlight treated us well last time, so maybe there'll be something nice over here. Another good aspect of this site is it's one of my sites that has the least number of big phosphate rocks like that one. And I don't know whether it is a feature of the river or the gravel pocket that they sucked up whenever they dredged this stretch. But for whatever reason, these teeth are just preserved exceptionally well. And that's a stick. There we go. There is another snaggletooth. Let's see. Alright, I found the biggest tooth last time. It was sitting right there. I want his brother. But there's more sand here than there was last time, so I don't think I will see another in that section. No one up in there. It's fun to look along these too because you can... Oh, actually, here you go. As requested, sticking out of the wall, it's a little snaggletooth. Nice little lower tooth right there. Really shiny enamel. It's always fun to see. Alright. Some errant pieces of coal out here as well. Excuse me, there are no seams. All those bugs I was talking about earlier, they are biting my face and my camera holding hand, so I have to switch off periodically. Periodically, get it? But it's an anatomy joke. The ear bone is called a periodic or periodic, depending on how you pronounce it. Sorry, that's bad fossil humor, I know. Ooh, there we go. Right down there. Nice mako shark tooth out by himself. That's a nice one from Isurus oxyrhynchus. Right behind him, a little snaggletooth shark. Serrations jutting up there on the right. Whoa. My eye caught that, but then it saw that. Yes, adventurous, I will bravely come out here and fight off the bugs if it means taking you guys on a fossil hunt. So, two cool things here, actually. When I first saw that, of course we got a nice little member of the Megalodon lineage. But believe it or not, that's gorgeous. This is a sea turtle jaw. That is the lower jaw, the mandible or the dentary. And wow, that's gorgeous. Believe it or not, this is my fourth one that I have, oh man, these bugs, that I have ever found. Delighted to share that on the live stream with you guys. That is awesome. Thumbs up for sea turtle jawbone. Way rarer than a meg. Awesome. Got another lemon shark. Hey Canistia, thanks for joining. Yeah, sea turtle jawbone, really cool find. The thing that kind of compounds the cool factor on mammal and reptile remains is that these things actually had to die in the right spot to fossilize. Shark teeth, they're lost, continuously throughout this animal's life, you've got an animal essentially losing tens of thousands in their lifetime. So the opportunity for the teeth to fossilize is pretty easy. A singular jawbone from a sea turtle, that's a little harder. And that's what I get excited over. Let's see. Some type of reptile bone. Canisteo, I am out here in Charleston today. It will remain an undisclosed location just because of the sensitive nature of the site. But I can at least bring you guys out here with me on the live stream. Now, for those that want to come to similar locations on a trip, of course, my whole business is that I offer guided tours for folks to come out with me, and I will identify everything just like I'm doing it in this live video. I do that every single minute of a 5-hour tour. So, a really unique opportunity, a chance to experience prehistoric Charleston. There's lots of advertising for historic Charleston. Great stuff here. Glad that people enjoy historic Charleston, but in my mind, prehistoric Charleston is even cooler. Plus, we get to see dolphins out here. I mean, who doesn't love a good dolphin sighting? Yes, Adventurous would love to have you come up to Charleston and come out on a trip. A little bit of a billfish vertebra right there. Come on. The off season is a good time, or the shoulder season rather, is a great time to come on trips because it's not quite as busy, especially in the spring and late fall are a couple of the time periods that I recommend. But if you're on vacation in the summer, of course, you know, I'm not going to turn you away. That one's a rock. Even paleontologists pick up rocks because sometimes I dismiss an item as a rock when I first see it, and I pick it up anyway because I'm like, why not? And then look at it a little further, and holy cow, it's one of the cooler finds that I get that day. Yeah, you hit on it, Canisteo. The amount of fossil material that is out here, that has been out here, that just gets collected or it just gets washed back into the ocean, it really is a staggering amount. And then I challenge you to comprehend the fact that all of those fossils represent less than 1% of the animal remains that have ever been on this planet. I mean, I have an activity that I do at my school groups, and it's a Plinko style game. I've got a video about it on the channel, Fossil Plinko, and it's a board that I designed, and we drop the balls through it, and it averages about 1 to 4% on a ball landing in the fossil slot, which for my mechanical limitations of designing a game, that's pretty darn good. Let's see, when was the last dredge project done? Out here, back in the, probably the 40s. I mean, it has been a minute. On Folly Beach, the last renourishment was 2019, and unfortunately, the 2014 renourishment, which brought up all the fossils, was a bit of a mistake. So when they did the 2019 renourishment, they pumped from a site that they normally like to pump from. Another shark vertebra there, bow tie. They pumped from a site that has sand and sand only. So we actually had to let that sand get out of the way. Millions of dollars of sand erode back into the ocean in 3 months. And then we were able to start seeing fossils on the beach again. So beach renourishment, for fossil hunting, it can be a good thing. For the environment and our pocketbooks, not so much. Alright, I'm walking a lower line now, so we did not look at this material on the way up in the live stream, so we'll see what it produces. Got another little reef shark right there. Got two right beside each other. Again, illustrating one of my tips that they are sorted in like-sized material. Got a couple of reef sharks right here, and they're sitting in very similar sized gravel. Excellent. And let's see, did we get, oh, just bone, but it has that brown color like the coprolites take on. So it's a little bit more of the mineralization that happens at this site. Got a long-toothed tiger shark right there. And again, for those that just joined, I am not keeping any of these. I am shipping them out to my Patreon supporters. The link for that is in the description, where you can receive fossils that you see in live streams just like this one. Curie Beach. Yes, I went to Curie Beach in 2019, I believe it was. Found a good little variety of fossils out there. Enjoyed my time at Curie, at Carolina Beach, Topsail, North Topsail. All of them had fossils, so I definitely recommend checking those out if you're on vacation. Coolest thing that I found at North Topsail were some Eocene oysters. So oyster shells, a whole lot older than the material I'm walking on right now, and they could grow up to 2 feet long. We didn't find any 2-foot long oysters out there, but we did find a couple that were 1 foot long and absolutely massive, thick, really cool finds. Hey Regina, thanks for the love on the book. Glad you enjoy it. That is why we wrote it, so that so many people could have a handy resource whenever they go out to the beach. Glad you're loving it. Got a nice fossilized oyster here, and you can see there's a rock on it, and that's that 28 to 30 million year old limestone. Ship that guy out for the month of February. Whew, while I continue to get eaten alive by bugs. I've got a long sleeve shirt on and it's 70 degrees and I'm in waders. I mean, it's not fun. But when you find something good, you forget about it. Little tiny bone fragment. We'll leave him for someone else. Got some marine mammal bone right there. Something, probably it's going to be a whale or a very large dolphin. Oof, man. Yeah, the no-see-ums. Not fun at all. Oh, yeah, you're getting a snowstorm. I believe it. I have a friend up in Ohio by Lake Erie, and they're getting another 16 inches today on top of the 2 feet that they already got over the past couple of weeks. You guys have really been hit hard up north. But we did have a night that got down to 20 down here, and everyone with their uninsulated pipes had to drip the faucets. So it's it's certainly not a 1.5 feet of snow, but the infrastructure down here is severely unprepared for cold events. Okay, all right, yeah, that's makes sense why you're getting as much snowfall as you are. All right, we need another big one. We've had a dry spell here for them. And those laughing gulls are laughing at us over there. It's another flock of about 100 going by. Okay, it's broken, I can already tell, but let's see. So, another thing to do when you're out looking for shark teeth, keep a glossary of images. I know what the root of a tooth looks like, so I saw that, and then there's some enamel shining through. Let's see how big this one is. Man, that would have been a beauty if it was complete. Awesome. Great colors in the sun. Love those tan browns on there. Sweet. Okay, well maybe I'll walk this line instead. The funny thing is, I'm really not looking too hard because I'm trying to keep everything in frame for you guys. So, between that and talking, I could stop the live stream, go back over all of this, and find just as much probably as I am right now. I'm walking over a lot of teeth, I know it. Yeah, so your comment about having a lot of sharks in the oceans, yes, there were, but also the other thing to realize about this, even on one of our most tightly constrained fossil deposits, so one that is a very small window of time, geologically speaking, so 28 to 30 million years, 2 million years between the top of that deposit and the bottom. You think about how many sharks lost teeth over 2 million years, given the fact that a single shark would be losing, conservatively like 7,000 teeth in its life. Different species lose different amounts at different rates. So there are plenty that will lose 50,000 teeth, 50,000 teeth in their lifetime. And then you multiply that by 2 million. And it's just like, yeah, there is a lot. And then I'm also hunting a very concentrated gravel bed. There are some sites where you just have to walk miles. The last live stream on a beach that I did, I walked 10 miles that day for the video of my worst day fossil hunting. Got more glass and another shark vertebra. So that kind of touches on something else as well. People will see like, oh, well, you set your bag down on that fossil and it's a really cool fossil that you videoed first thing. That seems planted. Well, I set my bag down earlier today when I was at another shoreline. There was nothing by it. There was nothing under it. I'm out almost every day collecting. And so when you have all of those days compounded, all of the sites, then every now and then you're bound to, a blind squirrel's bound to get a nut every once in a while, right? Speaking of blind squirrels, we got a really nice extinct great white here. Oh, and it's complete. Look at that. Oh man, sorry, the no-see-ums. Little bit of enamel peeled off the tip there, but still a gorgeous extinct great white. Carcharodon hastalis, the unserrated form, previously called a mako, no longer considered a mako shark. So, in a sense, what you're saying is correct about softer substrate. Certain conditions are definitely more ideal for fossilization, and with the formation of phosphate, it has to occur in very specific conditions, very calm areas in the ocean, in order for it to start mineralizing things around it. So, yes and no on the softer substrate. Oh my goodness. Oh, cool. All right. It's a good stream because, look at that. We got a periodic here from a squalodelphinid. I'm 90% sure that that's what that one is from. Another one headed off to the College of Charleston. Absolutely gorgeous dolphin earbone. They can take this thing and CT scan it to look at the shape and the tightness of the cochlea on the inside, all those little canals in there, and see what frequency this guy was transmitting, what frequency was he receiving, and we can learn a lot about dolphin evolution from that single bone right there. That is a perfect one too. Sweet. 2 periodics in 52 minutes. Can't complain about that. And I got the matching earbone earlier at the first site I was at. It's called the tympanic bulla. So, all in all, a 3 earbone day is a good day. We got another fragment of a member of the Megalodon lineage. Yeah, it truly is an incredible treasure hunt. Again, one that I'm honored to be able to share with you guys. That's a rock. Let's see. Yep, we got some shark poop right there. See that bright orange color? Oh, it's perfect. Really, I mean, the poop isn't perfect, it's broken. But the color is perfect, the texture is perfect for polishing. So we have actually polished a turd. We set it in sterling silver and we call it poolery. And those pendants and rings with polished shark poop are up on our website for purchase. And I mean, it's not every day you come across a turd that looks that nice. Yes, I'm very, very grateful to have hooked up with Rack. For those that don't know, Rack hosts the Bird Garden YouTube channel. So if you are interested in backyard birding, learning more about birds, Rack is your dude. He's got a cool live cam out there that you can watch his bird feeding station and learn a lot about birds and have a little bit of fun in the process. So he caught a boat-tailed grackle on one of my videos that was following me and called it out, and that was kind of how we first linked up, and he was a supporter on Patreon for many months. So Rack is a great friend. Glad to have him as a friend and a friend of the channel. Let's see. Yes, thanks, Adventurous. The Poolery, I'm really proud of that product. We say, help us make our number 2 product our number 1 seller. So, you know, we're just really full of it over here. Okay. Whew. Something I haven't found in a while is a whale or a dolphin tooth. Out here, we can find the conical teeth of dolphins that have teeth very similar to those that are alive today. And then we can also find some from a bunch of extinct forms of dolphin that have these double-rooted serrated teeth. Really, really cool looking. Prior to about 2015, they were incorrectly identified as squalodon teeth here, but squalodon is from the Miocene and not the Oligocene like most of our dolphin teeth. We got, you know, kind of wish granted, talking about those bigger shark verts. And like I said, I promised that phosphate would be filling in one side. That is the only reason this thing held together like that. Shark vertebrae are calcified cartilage. They're very fragile. So usually whenever we get them complete on the beaches around here, it's thanks to having a rock stuck on one side or the other. But still a nice one for the display. Getting shipped out in February to a Patreon supporter. Just a little tip of a cusplet right there from an Angustodons. So on a site out like this one, I would take 8 people, and we would stay at this site for 2.5 hours. I've already collected it for an hour. I've got a pouch full. This is only the shark tooth and special fossil side. I've got my trash and my other larger bones and turtle shell in there. Everyone gets one of these handy dandy collection nail aprons. You get to take all your fossils home in it, so it's another souvenir of the trip. And all kayak gear is supplied to get out here. Let's see, this site is comparable to my 3/4 day site, which is a total of 6 miles paddling. That one I definitely restrict to people who have advanced kayaking experience, who are able to get themselves from point A to point B over a span of 6 miles. That's 3 miles there, 3 miles back, but if inclement weather was to pop up, we might have to paddle back against the tide. It is not uncommon, and it's a struggle to paddle 3 miles non-stop against the tide. So typically, I recommend most people do the half-day kayak trip if they are comfortable with that, and they're like, oh yeah, this was a breeze, I can definitely paddle farther, then we can look at doing a 3/4 day trip in the future. Now, I do have my boat out there. I'm working on getting my captain's license. I'm going to sound like a broken record for the next 2 years in that I'm working on it. So today was just another day getting hours under the belt so that I can start taking paying clients out with me on the boat. A rock in the shape of a horse tooth. All right, don't need that. Ooh, look, it's quite literally, I don't think you can see it in the video. That's my heel print right there. Right in the middle of it is a really nice snaggle tooth. Always pays to retrace your steps. Again, with us being out here for 2.5 hours looking over this gravel, you know, 8 people, 9 people really, wind up doing a really good job of looking at all of this. But even still, we start packing up, it's time to go, and the biggest tooth of the day is sitting right next to someone's backpack, so you never know. Speaking of backpack, I'm about 20 feet from mine. So I'm hoping, like that snaggletooth, there's another really amazing fossil left in this final stretch. Yes, lots of eyes are very good. All right, that one is a little dorsal spine from a fish vertebra, and then right over here, a different form of symmetry is radial symmetry, and that's a colony of Ballinophilia coral. It's a solitary coral, so rather than having a whole bunch of little polyps, it is just that singular coral. Believe it or not, that genus is still alive today. And I've got another shark vertebra right there. Boom. Awesome. Let me catch a comment here that came in. Collection video. Oh, Prehistoric Wonders wants to see a live stream of my collection. Yes, the only video I have up right now with my collection, it highlights a single set of stingray teeth that I found. It's a YouTube short, and it's talking about stingray teeth. It's only like 14 seconds long. So let me get my office cleaned up, and then I will definitely do a live stream of my collection sometime in the future. Got a little long-toothed tiger shark right there. And yes, Canisteo, all of this is from phosphate. The black was part of the mineralization of the phosphate and the shark teeth. So, got a shark tooth right there. It's not really moving. Well, now it's moving. But, it is a typical rootless great white. So, these are such thin teeth that we rarely get to see them with the root attached. Maybe the next great white. I have seen a killer great white come out of here. Really, really nicely preserved, especially for a beach tooth. And again, I mean, this is in the stretch that I walked through going down, so you never know. Looking back at the ground you covered, there could be something really rare in here. Partial shark vertebra. And the no-see-ums continuing to eat me alive. Rock. Oh man, it's like they're worse on this side of the beach. Holy cow. All right, teeth. Let's see where you're hiding. They're hiding beneath a fog of no-see-um gnats. That's where they're hiding. Anyone else watching ever experienced no-see-ums? Some people call them the spawn of Satan. They are these, other people call them teeth with wings, little tiny biting flies, and they're usually out in hordes. And January, February, that's when most of them, January through April, is when most of them come out here in Charleston, and it is brutal. We're getting close to the bag. I want another tooth. Yeah, prehistoric knows what I'm talking about. They are no fun at all. Let's see. Yeah, 3 layers of clothes. Adventurous. You're right. I got 3 layers on, but I don't have 3 consecutive layers. And yeah, bug spray doesn't work on the ones out here for us. But, oh my gosh. Okay, I'll try and stay still while I show you this. This is a front tooth from a spear-toothed dolphin. Let's get it back in focus there. So you got the crown there on the top right. The root is beneath my thumb and touching my ring finger. This is this little incisor from a really bizarre looking extinct dolphin that had these little pencil-like teeth sticking out the front of his skull. We're still trying to figure out, is this a display like, is this a display like antlers on a deer? Is this for caging or fighting off other males? Is it a feature to help cage fish into the mouth? So pretty cool little find right there. Group of dolphins called this are Wipadiids, and then there's some others within that group as well that have these teeth. Really awesome find. And look, there's my bag. Dolphin tooth was right there, so footprints right there. You never know. There's so much to look at here, because if I do a 360 pan, I got gravel down there. I got gravel from the way I came. I got gravel still in that direction. So what I will do is I will keep walking past my bag here. I'll walk down to the end of the beach while I got everyone, and the wind is picking up a little bit, and the sun is just starting to set, so we'll just do this stretch quickly. I still have to wade on out to my boat, and even though it's 70 degrees today, the water temperature is in the 50s. And for a skinny guy like me, that's no fun, even in waders. I was always the kid at scout camp that just took the no swimming badge off the wall because I couldn't take the swimming test in 58-degree water. Let's see what the beach holds for us in this final stretch. A rock shaped like a shark vertebra. We have an Ice Age turtle element here. This one is called the nuchal bone. Let me get a no-see-um out of my ear. This is right where the turtle's head comes out, right there. Bone right above the top middle of the shell. From the Ice Age, that one's going to be a slider of some sort. So we're looking most likely at a member of the Trachomys genus. Ooh, there we go. Right there. Nice big lower tooth from a snaggletooth shark. Really nicely preserved and complete. Awesome. More glass, we'll get that out of here. Another glass, but that one is actually an older piece, whoops, because it's a lavender color. It was originally clear glass that then turned lavender through exposure to UV radiation. So that's pretty cool. Yep, Regina, I love turtle shell too. It makes some gorgeous jewelry when set properly. More glass. That one would be window glass. We need triangles that aren't glass. It's always interesting. The fines will taper off in this direction because we're farther away from the pile of sediment that got dredged up here in the 40s. But thanks to tidal action, tide going in and out, up and down, rather left and right or north and south, it will move that gravel up and down the beach. So the odd thing is that while there's a bunch of phosphate gravel in this direction, I've never really found much of note in here. See, a rock that tricked me. Stoop all the way down and pick him up. But you never know. There was one tour where someone was walking off in a direction that I, have looked at time to time, and they're like, "Can we find anything out this way?" And I'm like, "No, not really. There's not much out there to collect." Lo and behold, they found the biggest tooth of the trip. So, yeah, it just goes to show there is a bit of luck, always an element of luck in finding these things. You have to be in the right place at the right time. Had I been here yesterday, I might not have found that sea turtle jaw. If I was here tomorrow, maybe not that tooth sticking straight out of the sand. You never know. And this is where it turns into knee-deep mud, so we turn around. You can see our sea lettuce is in full swing around here, covering that log. There's actually a site that I didn't go to today because the entire beach is covered in sea lettuce. It's normally a wonderful spot to hunt at low tide, but not when the sea lettuce is in bloom. Got a little mineralized stick right there. That's cool. I enjoy the plant fossils too. I'm a bit of a botanist, especially up in the mountains of North Carolina and South Carolina. So finding twigs like that is always fun because sometimes you can actually identify them down to the genus or the family level. And we actually did that once with a fossilized twig from smooth sumac. So not poison sumac that everyone hears about and is afraid of, but an edible variety. Pretty cool little find. It had the buds still on it. That stuff fascinates me. Well, we have something new, a rostral denticle from a sawfish. So that is a spine off of the side of the sawfish's snout. Ow. Used to capture prey items. We'll see if there's anything left in these 30 feet. And then it'll be time for me to go truck on home, because I don't want to be out here at dark, even though I have lights on the boat. Got a fossilized barnacle here from the Ashley limestone, that 28 million year old deposit, filling the barnacle there. Got another fossilized twig right there. Little fish vertebra. We're a little bit too late to put that one in an aquarium. Another piece of glass. Get out of here. Gotten a lot of that today. Yeah, hey Seva, thanks for joining in. I agree, it has been a good variety of fossils today. So, I hope that everyone enjoyed today's live stream. Got a nice sunset happening there off on the side. I will be back, let's see, I'm going up to spend some time with family celebrating the Lunar New Year this weekend. But I will be back with live streams probably on Monday. I think the weather looks pretty nice. And even if it isn't nice, it's not snowing like some of y'all are getting right now. So go ahead, and if you haven't already, please give the video a like. And if you think I earned it, subscribe to the channel too, because we're all about having a nice welcoming community of fossil hunters here, and people that are just enthusiasts that want to learn more about our prehistoric wildlife. So yeah, we are glad to have you on the live stream, and if you're watching the replay, glad to have you as well. Leave a comment down with your favorite fossil that I found in the video if you got to this point, and it can be a little secret between us that you made it all the way here to the end of the video. So Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'm going to truck on back to the landing now, and we will see you on the next one. Happy hunting.